Hey there. Right now I'm going to be doing a video lesson of Wipeout by the Ventures. I'll go ahead and play through it one time, and then I will explain it for you. Here we go. I will go ahead and tell you how to set everything up first. On your guitar, if your guitar has 4 knobs like this guitar does, then you're going to need to do a couple things with it. If not, then don't worry about it. What I do is I switch my rhythm treble switch to treble to give it a little more metallic sound, and I have my tone. I have my tone turned down that time. I have my tone turned all the way up, and my volume turned all the way up, and I have it set on treble. I have my amp over here plugged into some computer speakers, and I have them plugged into the computer speakers to give it a little more old-timey, kind of raspy, not raspy, but kind of staticky sound, because the Ventures, they did their stuff back in the 60s and 70s, I think 50s, I don't know, I'm not an expert on Ventures, so that's just random guess. But their guitars that they use definitely sound old. So you're going to want to make your amp sound old. I don't know if your amp can do that. If not, then plug it in, see if you can get some computer speakers or some speakers and stuff. Get a stereo adapter, put that in, and then plug the speakers in there and plug it into your amp's its output. If your amp doesn't have one, then you'll be fine without it, but it sounds cooler without it. Or it sounds cooler with it. So if it does, then go ahead and do that. If not, then don't worry about it. And I'll go ahead and now I don't want to lose your attention, but I'll go ahead and run through it now with you. All right. So you start out. There are a couple different ways you can do this. You may have learned it like this. Maybe not like that. But then it's harder to switch it to the if you play it down here, it's harder to go to. It's harder to find that. So what I would suggest doing is starting out with your pinky here on the E string, the low E. Play that first. Then your index finger here on the 5th fret of the A string. Then my middle finger on the 6th fret of the A string. Then I switch my pinky over here to the then I switch my pinky here up to the 7th fret there. Switch your ring finger or your pinky, whichever one works better for you. And so then you've got that done. And now you're playing all the same thing, right? But you just move it up one string. So now you've got your pinky, your beginning pinky for on the 7th fret of your A string. Then you got your index finger on the 5th fret of the D string. Then your middle finger on the 6th fret of the D string. Then your middle finger or your pinky on the 7th fret of the D string. And then after off to 5 on your D. Then you play the 7 on your A again. And then you go back down to your. Then you go back down another note. Then you go back down another string, and you play it on that string. And you play everything on that string. After you do that twice, you play it once with the bass being on your E string, then your bass being on your A string, then your bass being on your E string, then your bass being on your E string. After you do that, then you move up, so it's like this. So, in order to do that, you have exactly the same thing that you're using, except you put your pinky based on the 9th fret of your A string. So it's like this. Then you slide back down so that your pinky's on the 7th and the other stuff's the same. And then your pinky is going to be on the 7th fret of your E string. So, you know, just play around with it until you think you got it right. And feel free to post any questions or comments below on the comment box. And also, if this wasn't clear enough, I would highly suggest going to ultimateguitar.com and checking out wipeout tabs. Those are really, really helpful, and if I did not explain it well enough, then I would recommend going there. Alright, thanks.